Right, so moving along in this one, we're going to continue with chapter 1. This is the second lesson here, and we're going to talk more about the forms, or how to write the simple present and the present progressive verbs. So just as a review here before we get started, which one of these verbs is the correct one? So I walk my dog every afternoon, walks, or walking? And the answer is going to be walk. My friend speaks, speaking 3 languages. It's going to be speaks. My brothers lives, living in New York. It's going to be live. Jim and Pam are takes, taking. It's going to be taking a test right now. Should it be is Jeff working, Jeff works, or Jeff working at the moment? In this case, it's going to be is Jeff working. And is this one, should it be you do eat, you are eating, or do you eat breakfast every day? And in this case, it's going to be do you eat. So for the simple present tense statements, we want to add an S for verbs with he, she, or it, which is called the third person singular. For example, you would write he works, she works, it works. You don't change or add anything to simple present tense verbs for I, you, we, or they. So you say I work, you work, we work, they work. So look at these examples of these simple present tense verbs. We see he eats, she eats, but they eat together. So to make a verb negative, what we do is add do not or does not before the verb. Use do not or the contraction don't when the subject is I, you, we, or they. For he, she, or it, use does not or the contraction doesn't. Let's look at some examples of negative statements. So here we have Henry doesn't wear a suit to work. Here we have I don't understand sign language. She doesn't drive a car to school. She's on a cool skateboard. They don't watch sports very often. So to form simple present questions, we use do or does. For I, you, we, and they, we use do. So do I work? Do you work? Do we work? Do they work? For he, she, and it, we use does. Does he work? Does she work? Does it work? Notice that there's no S on the main verb work. So let's look at some examples. Does he look happy? Yes, he does. Do you know the answer to this crossword puzzle? Now let's review. To form the simple present, we add S to the third person singular statements. For negative statements, use do not or does not before the main verb. For yes or no questions, begin the question with do or does. Then add the subject and the main verb. So again, we have Henry doesn't wear a suit to work. I don't understand sign language. And do you know the answer to this crossword puzzle? Now let's look at the present progressive verbs. To form the present progressive, we use a form of be, am, is, or are, and then add ing to the verb. Here's some examples of present progressive statements. They are using the ski lift. Jim is skiing down the mountain right now. I am looking for my friends on the hill. Here are a few more examples. They are eating pizza at a restaurant. Jamal is talking to Sarah and Kevin. Sarah is laughing. I don't know who Sarah is. Okay. For negative statements in the present progressive, you add not between the verb be and the main verb with an ing. For example, I'm not working. Go ahead and read through the rest of this slide. So here are some more examples. She isn't getting out of bed. They aren't studying. So example that go ahead and skip through these. All right. So let's look at the questions. It's not allowing me to go back, so I must go forward because I skipped over one. So when you're making a question in the present progressive, you're going to start with either is or am or are. It's kind of rare to have a question with I. And then you have the subject and then the ing form of the verb. So look at the examples. Is he wearing a t-shirt at the interview? Yes, he is. Is she reading his application? Yes, she is. Are they talking about the schedule? Oh no, there's no sound. So let's review. To form the present progressive statements, use am, is, or are plus a verb with the ing form. To form negative statements, add not between the verb be and the main verb ing. To make questions, start with am, is, or are, add the subject and the main verb with ing. So singular means one and plural means more than one. If we look at this table here, we can see that when we are talking about singular nouns, we don't put an S on it, right? So here singular means one, not two or more, and plural means two, three, or more. So singular, we have one dog. Plural, we have many dogs. We add the S to singular verbs. So compare these sentences. A dog barks and dogs bark. Look at the singular verbs. A cat plays with the ball. It plays outside. Pardon me. Anna plays with her toys. She plays in her bedroom. Tyler plays with his toy truck. He plays every day. So let's choose the correct verbs here together. So we want to focus on the subject. So if the subject is singular, we should have an S on the verb. If the subject is plural, we should have no S on the verb. So if we look at this one, the subject is dog. This is singular. So should it be sleep or sleeps? The answer is going to be sleeps. Look at the subject. The subject is teacher. Is that singular or plural? It's singular. So should it be our teacher give or gives? And this should be gives. Look at this one. My classmates. That's the subject. Or classmates is the subject. Is it singular or plural? It's plural. So should it be meet or meets? It's going to be meet. I is the subject here. So should it be don't or doesn't sleep late on weekends? It's going to be don't. Here, Sarah is the subject. So we actually already have the S here, doesn't. Should we also have an S on the main verb? So should it be doesn't work or doesn't works? In this one, it's going to be work because we're only ever going to have one S. If we have an S on here, we don't have an S on here. If we have an S on here, we don't have an S on here. I'm not studying or I'm not study right now. So in this one, it's going to be studying. So for more practice with this, you can look at tables 1-2 and 1- in your book.